Do you know this feeling of you really want to start something? You have the idea, you have the plan, you have the motivation, and you just don't do it. You think about it, you rumor about it, you're like, I gonna do it, I have the plan, but then you just don't do it. It's like this invisible chain pulling you back. And in this like unscripted video, I want to share a bit of my point where I'm standing right now in my life with this YouTube channel, and especially with a YouTube channel about my own history, about emotional abuse, physical abuse, trauma, spirituality, and all these kind of things. And it's so interesting because the exact thing that I want to do to help other people and to share my story is touching my deepest fears and my deepest wounds. And I don't know, this is so tricky, and I just want to, if this video has any message today, then it should be the message that you are not alone in that. And I'm so certain about that. Even today, like I'm feeling just staying in bed, really not even going to work, let alone record a YouTube video. But I'm like, this cannot go on like this. Seriously, it has to. I made a commitment to myself to stick with it, even if it really hurts. And what is it that hurts? It's all these past years, what I did, the trauma healing and the self-reflection and psychedelics journeys that I had, it revealed so much, like so many subconscious beliefs. And what I found out is that one of my deepest beliefs was or is that just nobody cares, that I am just irrelevant, like completely, like nobody, and even in my mind, I know it's not true. People have told me when I shared my story, you have to like share it. It's really inspiring. You have to share it. Other people are in the same position, and you can kind of like share your knowledge about everything and help them. And I'm like, yeah. So, and I was even procrastinating it for so long. And then I started this channel knowing that it is kind of a minefield, a trigger minefield for me, because getting the feeling that nobody cares is like, I feel that it confirms everything that I was told when I was a kid. And this is really painful, guys. And even I know it's a trigger. And this is especially the reason why I'm doing this video today, even if I don't feel like it at all. I don't want to go to work. I don't want to go anywhere. I want to be in bed and just, I don't know, cry and like, I don't even know. I don't even want to watch anything. I don't even want to write. I don't want to do anything. And it's like this kind of little depression episodes that come up, especially when you deal with trauma. But this is exactly the reason why I started this channel, because I know I have met so many people. They are wonderful people, beautiful souls, kind-hearted, authentic people. And they told me their dreams and their stuff and about themselves. And they said, no, I'm not going to do it. The self-shame and the self-doubt and the self-criticism is crazy. It's like a next level. And I have seen that so much. And I was shocked because all these years, I thought it's just me. All these years, I thought it's me, the weirdo. And I was hiding it all my life. So many people, they know me from back in the day. They probably wonder what she's starting a YouTube channel. But this is, again, like I'm thinking about what other people would think. And this is crazy. This is crazy because I'm doing that to share my story, basically, and to inspire and help other people. But this voice that sticks from childhood, and I can tell you where it comes from, guys. And this is like like a really personal sharing, but I have to start with doing that and stop like going around the the circle and like avoiding the elephant in the room. When I was a kid, there was, of course, already physical abuse and also emotional abuse, like narcissistic abuse. But when I came into my teenage years, it kind of like got completely out of control. Completely, it was absolute terror at home. It was like the worst years of my whole life. The emotional abuse, I could not. The evil, the mocking, the laughing about me, just about everything, how I look, how I walk, the calling me names, slut, you lazy piece of, everything you can ever imagine. And this for years. And this was the worst between when I was 13 and 18 when I moved out. And I remember, because I was a strong person always, and I kind of stood up for myself. And, this balance between loving your parent and then, but you have to stand up for yourself and like, what the fuck's happening? What are you doing? And then I was standing there and like telling me, do you think you are a good mom hitting your child? You think you're a good mom, like doing this and this and this? I called her out. Like I said it. I called out the facts. But with a narcissist, you cannot discuss. You cannot, on a logical basis, discuss, and then they will sit there and like, oh yeah, all right, I hit her, so yeah, it must be kind of wrong. They're not doing that. It's not happening. And then I was standing there crying and screaming and completely. And she told me, just go out, tell other people. Maybe they will care, because I don't certainly care. And maybe they believe you. You can play the victim outside, but please don't bother me with your bullshit. And this for years. And I just realized that this happened, I think maybe just 3 years ago or something. This exact words. And I implemented them into me as my words. And today, this morning, seriously, I was lying in my bed. I was thinking about the next video. And I heard this voice like, nobody cares. Nobody will ever believe you. Like, nobody will believe you. They will think you make it up. They will think you make it up and you're just playing drama queen. And I'm like, God, this is exactly the same words that my mother used to tell me for years and years and years. And even though I knew she was wrong, because as a kid, you kind of know getting abused is not right. It's not how it should be, especially when you get older and you meet other families and you can compare what is happening in your home and in other people's places. And you're like, what the fuck? And I know this voice. And then I was just crying and like, this is so strong. This is so strong, guys. And I feel like I have to go over my own fears of rejection and like being irrelevant. I have to go over that, because just for the sake of it, just for the sake of this cannot be stronger than me. This cannot be the power that suppresses me, this old voice. And I'm even aware of it. And how many people are not aware of it? They have these voices and they think it's the truth. They think it's their own voice, or like, all these the thoughts that we have, they're coming from the past, from other people, from society, whatever. Like, you have to be beautiful to be admired, and you have to whatever. You have to be quick. You have to work hard. You have to always be happy. You have to smile. I don't know. And the things that I was mocked for in my own home, which I cannot even call home, it was a war field in my teenage years. I was avoiding going home. I was avoiding it. I went to the nightclubs. I slept at friends' places because it was like yeah. But then we break out from there and leave the situation. But these thoughts, they follow us for the rest of our life if we're not getting aware of them. And this is why I'm such an advocate for this inner work, for this inner child healing, and for reflection and hypnotherapy and plant medicine, all this kind of stuff. Like, you have to decide what resonates for you and what you're going to do. But the quintessence is that healing is possible. And I have come such a long way from being suicidal and being depressed and being drunk in nightclubs, sleeping around with all kinds of people that actually I should never have even talked to. And from sitting here now, living in the Swiss Alps, kind of having, created a life situation for me that I feel comfortable with, even though it's not yet living my full dream, but it's a process and such a long process. So first we have to be aware of these thoughts. I would highly recommend you, if you feel like what I just described, like the sadness, the depression, the feeling of that what you want to do is impossible or you just can't do it, write down your thoughts. Really write them down. You have to look at it. You have to see it. You have to see and then remember who said that to you. Who was it? Because it was definitely not you. It was 100% not you. You being a child, like a child of light and joy and everything. And you definitely not coming to the idea that you're worthless and that you can't do it. So write everything down, because I think one of the biggest purposes of our lives is to unlearn the stuff that we have learned, because there's so much lies, guys. There's so many lies that we have believed. They came from hurt people, from people they didn't even love themselves. How could they love us? It's impossible. They hated themselves sometimes. And this is like demonic. For me, narcissistic abuse is definitely that demonic. It's an evil energy. It's evil. And if you have experienced that, you know exactly what I mean. When a person, you standing as a child, and this person is standing in front of you and laughing at you like the fucking devil, staring at you, laughing at you and mocking you, taking photos of you. I have one photo of me where I'm crying and screaming on the floor. And it was always the funny story, me being the one who cries. And my mother was always making fun at family gatherings and telling the stories of my dysregulated moments, so to say. I remember this is like complete panic. And every trauma therapist, I'm not a trauma therapist, will tell you that if a kid is dysregulated that much that they cry and scream and being on the floor, this is a cry for help. You need help in this moment, because as a little child, you cannot regulate yourself. You need somebody to sit there and like, okay, this is anger, this is sadness, go with you through that and be there. And if there's nobody there, this is really, really bad. And if there's just nobody there because you're just, let's say you're playing alone outside and you're just having an emotional moment, or you cry about something and there's just no adult there, or it's nobody there because your mother rejects you and goes out of the room and laughs at you and like, yeah, you're a little victim, just whatever, and or even punishes you. So, and this gets so deeply ingrained in us, because what we do as children, it's called introjection. We take in the stuff that the adults say. I mean, we take in so many things as a little child anyway, because our consciousness is still so open and so unconditioned. But especially when you experience traumatic situations with a care person, with an authority figure, and kids are really well aware that they have to spend some more time with them. You cannot move out. Like, I can remember so vividly that I wanted to leave. Even as a little child, I was planning my escape. When I was older, I was planning my escape. And I came completely to the awareness that I cannot escape, because where should I go? Where should I live? That's impossible. And we take in the things that they say in order to maintain the relationship. So this is called introjection. Like, the kid is taking, let's say you're being said you're stupid, you're ugly, you're fat, whatever. The option B would be the parent is a bad one for saying that. Of course, it's like, what the fuck? But this can't be the solution, because you cannot live together with a hostile enemy. This cannot be. You have to kind of be friends with them. You have to be okay with them, because they're taking care of you, right? So the child, rather, the psychology of the child, the child doesn't decide that consciously, takes this stuff in, these negative thoughts, as a truth. Because after all, when I'm fat or stupid, they're kind of right. So fair enough, right? This is all subconscious. But this is called introjection. We take it in, we kind of take this thought in, this belief, and put it back in our subconscious as a truth. It's a truth. And this is what you hear when people say, yeah, I'm just stupid. I'm just slow. I'm just slow. I hear all the time what people say about themselves. And these are all old belief patterns. And this hurts. And this is why we avoid things, not consciously many times. Because let's say me, if I never came to the idea to start a YouTube channel, then this would never come up, because I would never come to the situation where this comes up. And so every human being, every being in general, avoids pain. We avoid pain and we tend towards pleasure. That's normal. That's just how it is. We are not to judge ourselves for wanting to avoid the pain. But what do we do with it? Not doing the stuff that we want to do? Even that, I would not ever judge people that are not going for the stuff they want, because the fear of the rejection, the fear of failing, other people have a big fear of failing that I personally don't have that much. But for me, it's stronger this, it's irrelevant what I'm doing and it's futile and it's like blowing up in the air and all the effort was for nothing. This is like a pain. And for other people, it's like failure. But so the only way we can somehow figure this out is getting aware of that and then making baby steps. What do you want to do? Make little tiny baby steps. Like me with the YouTube channel. First of all, I was writing down all the topics, and it was probably like 300 titles I had that I could make videos about. I'm like, oh my God, where should I even start? This is insane. But I'm like, okay, first this, and then I started to like making the channel. Then at some point I was reaching out to some photographers to take out some videos for the channel banner and stuff. Then I was watching YouTube videos about how to start a YouTube channel. And I was learning for a few months. So tiny steps. And of course, with a lot of, it was still doing my intense trauma healing journey in 2024. I was still in the topic of trauma healing and all this kind of things. So a lot of emotions still came up. And it's so like when you have depression, you know how hard it is to come out of bed and to do anything at all. Brushing your teeth, going to work. This is like the most you can do. I know it's so tough with depression, with these negative belief patterns, because when you feel them as true, you won't move a finger. You won't move it because you think it's true. What you believe as true, you will act upon that. So we have to get the issue by the root. We have to get it by the root. And also maybe just accept that it's going to be painful. Think about what you really want to do and accept it's going to be painful. Like for me, the YouTube channel, I knew before it's going to be painful. I know I will look at the analytics and I will see no progress or whatever. And I knew it's going to be painful. And it is painful. It is painful. It tells, and the voice gets stronger. Like, see, I told you nobody's going to care. I'm like, it's just a voice. In the end, it's just a voice. It's not the truth. The truth is, okay, even if nobody cares, I want to do this channel, because if I just reach one person with whatever topic I'm going to talk about, and there's going to be many more topics, like about the whole journey, how I found back to God, like my encounters with Satan and the psychedelics testimonies that I have. All this is going to be shared. And this brings me to another little side note, is that have a look at the closer you're getting to realize your ideas or your potential, the stronger the pulling back gets. And for me, this is a sign, this is a proof, okay, there's something important here that I have to share, because something or some energy does not want me to share that. I'm making like a step forward and there's like something pulling you back and you're like, I can't do it. I can't do it. It takes too much effort. It's tough. And I want to send all my love, all my encouragement and admiration to all people who have been through tough stuff in their life, who have been told lies, who have had their self-worth crushed. It's like, to rise up out from that, this is like the real challenge and the real task, to grow out from addictions, to leave that behind, toxic relationships, facing being alone, and even starting to really like being alone, which will happen along the journey. I can promise you that. When you heal yourself, when you look at your old traumas, you're gonna really enjoy being alone. It's gonna be so nice. And 5 years ago, I was so afraid of being alone. So I see the progress. And today I just wanted to share that, because it was like such a thing I had today. I was so discouraged. I was like, I'm gonna stop the channel. I stopped the channel. It's no point. Like, nobody's ever gonna watch it. Yeah, this is what I wanted to share with you guys, and just giving encouragement, because I know these are lies. I know it, and I know how strong they are. And if you find yourself having all these plans and all these ideas, and you can't lift a finger, you can't even get out of bed some days, don't judge yourself, please. Don't judge yourself. Your whole system is always trying the best it can. All your inner children, even your ego, who wants to protect yourself from pain, is giving its best to protect you from the pain and not doing the thing you want to do, because it might be painful. Have compassion with yourself. Have compassion with yourself, guys. This is the only way we can ever start facing the fears. It's just possible with self-compassion. It's not possible with pressure and like, I have to, I should have. Of course, I should have posted like whatever, how many videos the last 4 weeks, but I didn't, because I couldn't. I was like, I could not do it. It was frustrating me. It was frustrating me so bad. Be brave to share, because whatever people want to share, like some people share about gardening, some people share about cooking, some people share about, I don't know, making candles. There will be people who are interested in that. I know that, because I have met so many wonderful people in the past that had the same struggles that I have. And I'm like, all this potential is lost in the world, because just people don't believe in themselves, because they just still believe the lies from the past. So write down your thoughts, guys. Write down your thoughts. Which is really good to do is the work from, I think it's Brené Brown. Writing down your words, your thoughts, and then making this kind of, she has like kind of a system, like, is this true? Then is this really true? And who am I if I believe this thought? And who am I if I don't believe this thought? Of something like that. Because it comes out, funnily enough, that the most thoughts we have are actually exposed as lies. Like, you can see it on the paper you're writing down. And first, of course, you write down, for example, I'm stupid. Is this true? And then you first say, yeah, sure, it's true. Because I know it. I'm stupid. And then you ask, is it really true? And then you write down evidences for you have to find evidences, right? Like, is it really true that, like, I'm having a job, I can read and write, I don't know, whatever comes to your mind that proves that you're not stupid. You really find that the most thoughts are just not true. Like, even logically, even like, you see it and you're like, huh, right, it's not true. And then you start to like, who am I when I believe that? And if you believe a lie, you're always going to be miserable when you believe you're stupid, fat, and whatever. And I believed that also for so many years. Like, my mother called me fatty. So I had a big issue with my body my whole life, and being beautiful and good in shape and stuff. When you believe the positive, and it's just like one thought, it's, you have the decision, if you believe it or not. For example, you plan something and you believe it's going to be shit, or you believe it's going to be nice. Both is not true, because you don't know. You can't look in the future. It's impossible to look in the future. So you can choose, which thought do I believe? And you can do this with all your thoughts. But to do that, first you have to write them down. Write them all down and then look at them and ask yourself, where is it coming from? The more and more it gets revealed, they lose their power. They lose their power. Even though they come back. They come back. And I'm doing this work for 5 years with everything I could, like everything I could. Trauma therapy, plant medicine, psychedelics, everything. I did everything. And still they're coming back. This is just, I want to tell you how strong this stuff is. So my dears, I'm wishing you all the best. Whatever you plan, whatever you want to do, believe in yourself. You did not come here to this planet Earth to play small. You did not come here to not do the things you want to do, because everything that is put in your heart is put there for a reason. You have to believe that. And we can get over all kinds of stuff. It just takes time and self-awareness and some self-love and a bit community, in my eyes. And this is also why I created this channel. So share, guys, whatever you want to share. And I'm seeing you soon in the next video. Bless you and have a nice day.